That's so loud. Holy smokes. I can't
Isabella's so happy right now.
I can't hear for shit.
It's like, when those videos are like, this is so satisfying. Like, that was so satisfying for Isabella.
Is that what do they call it? ASMR for Bella?
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's loud.
Oh. Well, we're back from the winter slumber. We got a little lazy the last 2 weeks and just kind of went to sleep. So, it's okay.
I think it's been 3.
Well, I think this is technically the second week of the quarter.
Yeah, because in our level 10, we got tripped up with that.
Yeah. It actually says week 3 on my sheet, but I'm going to change that to week 2.
Because we're going by full weeks.
So, little quick announcement. I'm going to hire like a junior broker guy to work on my book of brokerage business. And then also help with, situations where buildings are sold to us and maybe the guy that sold it to us, really isn't too interested in leasing the assets, leasing assignments there and some of my legacy business and stuff like that. So if that's something that sounds like you'd be interested in it, call me. You need to have a real estate license. You need to have some experience. But I'm looking for somebody like that. So, let's go to vacancies. We've got 3450 Bethlehem, 27,000 feet on 3.41 acres in Fort Worth, Zone K, heavy industrial. So if you got a user that needs some space like that, outside storage, we got it. Call Todd Hubbard or David Gwynn. 1230 South J. Elmer Turner Freeway. We have 2.7 acres available with a 13,000-foot building on it. Just call me on that. Parkside, we have several 5,000-foot suites available. If you've got a tenant for that, it's also available for auto use, so we'll take an auto user there. And let's see, we also have Dividend in San Antonio, 15,494 square feet on 1.41 acres. So if you got anybody for that, bring that to Colin McClellan at Llano Realty Partners. Okay.
In Liberty Hill?
Oh, yeah, Liberty Hill. We are firm on that now. What are we? How many acres?
6. I think 6.
6 acres, just north of Austin. Feels like you're pretty much in Austin.
Yeah.
We have a couple buildings on there right now that could be a shop space, but we intend to probably just develop a bay type warehouse for fleet maintenance. We're already talking to a couple equipment rental groups. So, but if you got somebody looking for something like that in North Austin, call Andrew Weissman at Matthews. So, okay. So this week in the economic calendar, and I've gone really deep on the economic calendar, and I'm going even deeper on the economic calendar. We're actually going to make a ton of reels on what does each one of these things really, really mean and how it affects macro, microeconomic things, what it influences, what it changes, what it means, if anything. Initial jobless claims come out this Thursday. Forecast is 210. Previous is 201,000. You've got housing starts. 1.32 million is the forecast. Previous is 1.29. And then you got core CPI this week coming out on Wednesday. 0.2% is the forecast. The previous was 0.3. Have you followed this guy on Twitter, Darth Powell?
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Vlad the Impaler or something. He is short on the housing market.
Yeah,
bad, like in a big way.
A lot of people are kind of forecasting some distress there.
Yeah, Could be. All right, U.S. debt. How many pounds we put on last week, Will?
25 billion.
Damn, it's pretty close.
24?
26.
Damn.
26. It's pretty good. It'll be interesting during Trump's presidency if we shall see that number go backwards.
My guesstimate is 0.
0% chance.
Yes.
I'm totally with you.
I'm somewhere between 0 and 10% chance. Somewhere there.
Yeah.
It's very low odds.
Bella, we never did our letter idea. Remember we were going to send a letter every week to Trump and tell him how much we went in debt last week? And we're concerned about what's being done about this.
If you've got a line to the president somehow, like
let us know.
Let us know. We'll stamp it, send it, but we want to make sure he sees it. I don't want to be one of those 100,000 kids that sends a letter in the mail to the president. Mr. President.
We FedEx it to him.
He gets certified mail straight to the White House of Pennsylvania. Look, you got to sign this thing, Donald.
I've been trying to get a hold of Donald J.
Yeah.
Donald J around. I was here to see Donald.
He's just ducking, thinking it's another lender suing him or something.
So, okay. Let's see. The Dow lost 793 points last week. The S&P lost 115 points last week. The NASDAQ dropped 460 points last week. So the big run up and then the sell off, right? West Texas crude is trading at $76.57 a barrel. The 10-year closed out at 4.58, or is that? It's higher than that now.
No, it's close at like 4.78.
Hold on a second. She might have grabbed the wrong number.
It might have been the wrong. I think the 5-year was right around there.
Let's see.
You're looking at the 10-year?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
This is saying 5 years at 4.38.
On January, week closing at January 10th.
Yes.
We closed at 4.776.
Okay. 4.786 right now.
Mine's faster. It says 4.799.
Gross.
Regardless, it's going in the wrong direction.
That's definite issue for concern. We'll get into that here in just a minute. Last week, all the real estate stocks lost except for real estate diversified. It barely went up. And on the month, everything is down. Real estate development's down 13%. That's the leader in losses, the loss leader. The smallest loser, not the biggest loser, is REIT healthcare. Real estate development's down 20% over the last 3 months.
I don't doubt it.
Term of the week. So I saw this. There's this guy, I can't remember his name. He's in like Naples. I follow him on Twitter. Hold on. And he does more traditional private equity. And
was it the HVAC guy?
No, hold on a second. Let me find this guy. He posts a lot. He posts some pretty good stuff. Let's see. I want to give him credit. Well, he didn't really actually say this, but Paul Swaney. You seen this guy?
I feel like the name does ring a bell.
You've seen him. Private Inequity is his handle. Swaney Group Capital. Anyways, he I guess he posted a LinkedIn message, and some kid, I guess, that went to the same school. I think he went to University of Florida, and I guess it's the McKinsey School, Business School or something. let's see, and wait, or used to work there or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a company. Anyways, this kid sent him a letter, a note on LinkedIn talking about how AI can do your due diligence on private equity, and he was just kind of like, no way. Like I get this email all the time, and yeah, I'll give you. But anyways, then this kid's email to him, or a young man, maybe not a kid.
Yeah.
He said, love to have another fellow McKinsey pressure test this for me.
Pressure test.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I like that. So
pressure test.
So
I echoed something on Twitter the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
What'd you echo?
Hold on. Pull it up. I think the guy's name is Acquisizioni.
Yeah.
He said, he tweeted, it's awkward / annoying when I tell a broker or seller that I know a market well, but they insist on educating me. Educating is in parentheses on it as if I know nothing. Sometimes I'll casually mention some intel that I'm confident they won't know because I'm petty and I like to hear them squirm. I was like, and I tweeted about it. I was like, I echo this.
I'm petty. That's funny. So anyways, if you got anything new you want to pressure test on somebody, there you go. All right. I think Mersace is like in the middle of traveling today, so I texted him. He didn't respond. Not that matters because he doesn't respond to texts usually. But
yes.
But anyways,
I echo that as well.
we had some pretty good college football. The Notre Dame game was awesome. I'm sure you didn't watch it.
I didn't.
You're not a real Catholic.
Although, have you seen the memes? The memes of Notre Dame coming back into the national championship have been for a Catholic, devout and a big history buff. They've been all centered around like the Crusades.
Yeah.
Which I have like literally been geeking out. Like people are like, Notre Dame bros when they're showing up to the national championship, and it's like this clip out of
they're dressed like Crusaders.
Yeah, they're dressed like Crusaders. What's the movie with Orlando Bloom? He's a Crusader.
I know the movie.
Yeah, they're just like throwing clips of that into it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. That's like really funny. So yeah, the Kingdom of Heaven clips. Yes.
Yeah.
God wills it.
Yeah. And then Texas just didn't have it against Ohio State.
Well, I feel like this has like been a common theme for them. Like they didn't really play anybody this year, right?
You know what it's been a theme for? The SEC.
Yeah.
Who throughout at the very kickoff of the college football playoffs talked about how they were so unjustly wronged.
Yeah.
And here we are. Nobody from your team made it to the final.
Big Ten.
Nobody from your conference.
And an unconferenced. Independent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever.
I think the playoffs worked. I think it all worked.
I'd like to see another layer grow to like 18 teams.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think you'd
make I think you have to get rid of conference championships.
Yeah. Well, and Jeff made a really good point a couple episodes ago. He's like, these kids are playing like 15 games now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you did it 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
Then you want to go to the league.
Yeah. You lowered your life expectancy in the league.
Yeah. Well, you played a full another season.
Mm-hmm.
Adding another.
But is that big of a deal? I mean, kids are playing like 10 years in college now.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess those dudes are never going to the NFL though, right? If you're on your 7th or 8th year,
just milking that NIL money.
Well, you weren't ever good enough to go to the league, but you can probably keep. I look at it this way: if you can still play and you can milk the shit out of it, like why not keep playing? If that's what you love, Yeah. Because you never get a shot again to do it, but
Sure.
But I don't think you're going to the NFL. So
yeah. Oh, I did go to the Division III National Championship.
Yeah, how was that?
Different.
Yeah.
It was a different crowd. It was in Houston, so my cousin played it. He's a starting nose tackle for Mountain Union.
Okay.
He's sophomore, big kid.
How big is he?
He's like 6'1", 6'2".
Okay.
But I don't. He got
Where is Mount Union?
in Canfield, Ohio.
Okay.
So I mean, you're in like the Rust Belt, like holy grail of like football, right?
Old school football.
Yeah. So Mount Union,
Leather helmets.
yeah, Mount Union's really storied. I guess they've been like 25 national titles. I had no idea.
Wow.
I should probably pay attention a little bit more. But what was interesting was the crowd, albeit small, right? It's not big. Everybody there was there for a purpose. Like they had a kid on the field.
Yeah.
So like people were intense about this game. Like you're not just going to spectate.
Where did they play the game at?
Shell Energy in Houston.
What is that?
It's a soccer stadium. It was really nice,
okay.
but it was terrible.
Is it that in east area of downtown?
Yes.
Edo?
Yes.
I've had it's rough.
Oh,
I've had a listing like right across the street from the soccer stadium for a while.
It's funny. Like we were there. I had my aunt, my uncle.
It's very similar to the Cedars.
Yes. Yeah. And my aunt and uncle were like, we thought we were leaving New Jersey to like get away from this for like
Edo's
it's
like
like
an area I know a lot about up down there, and it's gross.
It's gross. It's like Newark and Port Elizabeth. It's hairy.
It's trying to gentrify, but
they've got that Midtown development going on. I think Triton's doing that, and like we had coffee over there. It was pretty good, but to the game, it was just a different experience because it was Division III. I'd never been to a national title game before, but everybody there had a purpose to be there. It wasn't like, hey, I bought tickets just to go watch a game, right?
Yeah.
And so that was very interesting. I had never experienced that level of like, I mean, it's a national title game, and there's maybe a couple thousand people, if that, there. But everybody knew a dude on the field.
Who did they play?
North Central University out of Minnesota. And, it was cold as shit in Houston.
Yeah.
So you had like these two teams coming from the tundra, basically, thinking, we'll get a little warm weather. No, it was cold. So
how unfortunate for those kids that's kind of like their bowl game opportunity, and it's in Houston.
Stag championship. Well, maybe it's better than playing in Salem, Virginia.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then
I've
next
never
year,
been to Salem, Virginia.
I don't think I ever want to either.
Sounds terrible.
Sounds boring. And then next year it's in I don't know. But yeah, interesting experience. Never been to a national title.
Yeah.
So they lost.
Well, I'm gonna pick the national championship game.
Who you got?
Give me the Lord's team.
Yes. God wills it.
Notre Dame is 8-point dogs.
Okay.
But
when's the game?
It's a week from today.
Okay. Where's it at?
Phoenix. It's at the Peach Bowl in Georgia.
Georgia.
I'll
probably watch that.
Yeah. It's going to be a big TV day. You got the inauguration.
Oh, yes. Dude, I know people are going to that event.
Yeah. Nancy said she's going, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like Riley Leonard is going to win the national championship.
He's just going to force it.
I think that kid's got Jesus on his side.
He's kind of a stud, man.
I like him.
Yeah. Did you see him give his jersey to Shane Gillis?
No.
I think Shane Gillis was in the locker room and he was like a kid in a candy shop.
Well, do you follow Antonio Brown?
I do, but for whatever reason, he doesn't come up in my feed.
Well, you need to interact with him more.
Antonio's hilarious.
It is. Well, he has his ethnicity of the day.
No, I call AB. Let me go on here.
He's got Cracker of the Day. Shane Gillis was Cracker of the Year.
Really? Dude, that's...
Well, this is pretty interesting. There's a kid at Notre Dame who's from China. And he's a walk-on.
Okay.
He's on the team. And Notre Dame, they don't put their names on their jersey. But now they put them on for the playoffs.
Okay.
And they put his name in Chinese.
No.
So AB labeled him the chink of the day because he does. It's extremely racist, but it's hilarious, right? Well, all these people kind of backlashed at him, and he's like, "No, hold up!" The guy, the kid was like, "No, hold up! This is great! Like, I'm so honored to be this." And then AB gave him an NIL deal.
Oh yes.
So it was wild. So if you're on Twitter and you want some just solid gold, I mean, Antonio Brown has found his calling in running a Twitter page or an X page.
I'm on it right now. This is outrageous.
It is wild. All the stuff he's been dogging on Fox Sports about with all everybody sleeping with whoever around there.
Is it all coming out?
It is. It's all come out and he just clowns on it. Like it is like he put a stripper pole up and he said office at Fox Sports.
This is gold, dude.
It is solid gold.
Oh
if you
my
want
gosh.
some good entertainment, Antonio Brown, man, he hashtags everything as CTESPN.
He's got one with all the dudes lined up right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that CTE brain is coming in thick.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
How many he's only got 2.3 million followers. You'd think he'd get more.
He'll get more. He's one of the best Twitter pages out there. So anyways, I'm taking Notre Dame to win outright. So I just think they're going to win it. I don't know why. Ohio State's really good. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They have a defensive tackle whose arms are like I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It's
got them Hulk Hogan arms,
yes.
22s.
So they're really good. What's crazy to me is they won that game the other night, and Jeremiah Smith, I think he had 3 yards receiving. He had 180 yards the previous game. That kid is incredible. He could have skipped college and gone straight to the NFL. So
what's the rule on that now? Do you think that NIL kind of affects when kids release and go to the NFL?
I think the NFL has an age limit. I think you have to be 21 to play. I think it's an NFL rule.
Okay, so it's not a college term like it is with basketball.
Yeah.
Okay. That probably makes sense.
I mean, the physicality of men from that age to that age. So
yeah.
So anyways, that's my pick. I'll skip on playoff picks. Jeff can come in next week with some NFL playoff picks. I didn't watch too much. I watched some intermittent NFL playoffs yesterday. All right, news. We kind of touched on this earlier, but I think the big story right now is the 10-year and the 5-year Treasury yields.
They're ripping.
They are going up.
Hold on. We've been in here for 27 minutes. Let's check. Go ahead, Jeremy. Keep going.
I think I was listening to Squawk Box this morning, and they had someone come on. I can't remember who she was. She seemed pretty smart, but she kind of explained that the 10-year is going to stay where it's at until we get through a couple weeks of Trump's presidency, because I think the first couple weeks there's so many things that happen so quickly, like executive orders and all this stuff. And what's funny to me is, like, at the end of Biden's term and at the beginning of Trump's term, they're going to do all these like countermeasures to each other, right? Like Biden's doing putting all these things in place that Trump would never agree. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's kind of like you're going out as a disgruntled employee.
Sure.
You know,
just fucking it all up, deleting files, just making a mess.
I kind of think you shouldn't be able to do that.
Well, also the other thing is too, it's probably not him. It's his posse.
Well, but like, I mean, it's kind of like being under contract on a building, and then the building owner just goes and does whatever the hell they want while you're under contract. That could adversely affect you.
It's not cool.
I don't know. I don't think it should happen. I think once you get in office, you can make all those changes. And had you would have won, you could continue to make all those changes. But you lost.
Yeah.
And so sit back. We got this. You manage the country as it is until we get there. So, anyways, that's the That's what's really screwing things up though right now, because that has a big effect on mortgage rates.
Huge.
I mean, that's what they're tied to. So that's just until that comes down, man, the markets are still going to be tight and locked up, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to try to buy what, 50 million worth of stuff this year. We bought 30 last year.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough. It is tough to make a deal pencil right now. So
yeah, value add. I mean, they have to be. The thing is, it just. I'm looking at the all time data. I mean, we are above where we're at. We are even to almost basically where we were at in 2006, so pre-crisis, when the strippers realized they couldn't have 3 condos anymore, right? And the underwriting got really tight. So,
yeah.
And I'm not sure if real estate's adequately priced right now. Sometimes.
No, probably not.
So, your price is way too high. You need to cut it.
Well, another story, football and real estate related.
Yeah.
Fort Capital scores a massive United Football League headquarters lease. They have a 111,400 square foot deal in Arlington. It's one of the biggest Tarrant County leases in 10 years. The United Football League has secured a massive headquarters lease near AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The 111,400 square foot lease is Fort Capital's Ballpark Circle office building. I didn't know they owned office buildings.
Neither did I.
It's one of the largest office deals in Tarrant County in the past 2 years. The headquarters will span 2 floors in the 3-story building at 1401 Nolan Ryan Expressway. The lease marks a pivotal milestone for the UFL as it continues to expand following its merger with the United States Football League and the XFL. The XFL made Arlington its headquarters in 2022 to prepare for its relaunch. Since then, the UFL has increased its presence in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So,
what's the goal of these 3 leagues? Like, do they want to create a competition to the NFL? Is it going to be a difference?
No, they're not competing with the NFL. I think they're the minor leagues.
Okay.
Right? I guess you get some football when football ends.
Okay. Some CTE brain thrown around in there.
I just think you got a long way to go to really. I mean, I don't really watch these.
You have 100 years to compete with of tradition.
It's tough. And I mean, I guess it could be somewhat of a feeder, but
Is The Rock PG in that lease? The Rock says.
Yeah, The Rock sign the lease.
Yeah, he just signs The Rock.
Anyways, congratulations, Fort. That's a good win. I bet y'all are pretty excited. Probably sucking a little wind on that thing for a while.
Yeah, Jesus. I looked at that, and it looks like they bought it in 21.
Yeah.
I don't know what the story is on it, but I mean, if you look at this photo on CoStar, it's right. You are looking at both stadiums. I mean,
It's probably a pretty good real estate play. So, probably just took a while, but I mean, I bet that's a big monkey off your back to get a lease like that signed.
Mm-hmm.
So, good for those guys. Okay, the biggest real estate story out there right now, the California wildfires.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
How many homes are burned now at this point?
It's just ask ChatGPT.
I have a number that's in my head, but I don't know if it's accurate. There's a lot of BS floating around.
I mean,
who's an expert on downtown LA small industrial sub 10,000?
12,000 structures.
Yeah. I read somewhere it was 9,000 homes.
There's commercial buildings too.
Yeah.
I mean, and it ain't out yet.
No, it's like still raging apparently.
Yeah, it's still rolling. Like, I don't.
If so, the northern side of LA, like you're out in Bel Air, it's all hills and like it's hard to build up there. So that force just plows right into the city. And I was texting guys that we know over the weekend. I was like, hey, you good? But like everybody I know that's out there, Northside, they're out of their houses. Like there's no either. I don't know anybody who's lost a home yet, but like I know some people in Brentwood, some people in Bel Air, like they're not there. They're out. They're not coming back until it's contained. So
that is wild.
Wild. Emily and I were in Malibu and Topanga Canyon 3 years ago. All that shit's burned. It's just gone straight up.
It's like we went to this college prep thing for Barrett yesterday.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, so if you wanted to go to Pepperdine, in my mind, I'm going, I don't think Pepperdine's there anymore.
It actually, so the insurance, I went to a conference in Los Angeles. They have a state-of-the-art fire mitigation program there.
Really?
It is world-class. Like FM Global is a really big insurance company. It's like does a lot of like Class AA offices, and they over-engineer the hell out of everything. But they insure Pepperdine or participated in that, and their fire mitigation is probably the best in the country. I mean, but they spent probably tens of millions of dollars. Because to your point, they're in the thick of all that right now.
Yeah, they're running them smack down middle of Malibu.
I bet you some has occurred, but they had a full-blown like half-hour to an hour presentation on like what they did, Q's and A's. But yeah, if you don't have that, I mean, the other thing is too is like if you're on the FAIR program, which is their insurance, have you tracked any of that?
It's like there's so much information out there that you can't tell what's true or not. So I haven't really formed an opinion on it.
So this is true. In Pacific Palisades alone, insurance went skyrocketing, right, in California the last couple of years. And the state has to approve the insurance rate hikes. I'm probably going to butcher some of this, but they didn't, right? Because they're like, oh, this is punitive to the insured. So all these carriers pulled out, blah, 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 blah. And so California is like, well, let's spin up our own government program. They did. They took on $6 billion in risk and liabilities. They took in the Pacific Palisades area alone, they took on $6 billion worth of risk. They had $200 million of cash on hand during this crisis. They're insolvent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just declared. You have an insolvent program. You can't take all of that at one shot.
No, whoever underwrites everything goes down.
That's like taking like a big chunk of the DFW warehouses and praying to God a hailstorm doesn't come through. Like, are you stupid?
Yeah.
Like hail hits here. Or like taking like you want to insure OKC and be like, oh, we'll have 1/10 of the cash on hand on our books and pray that no tornadoes come through. Like, oh, what?
Do you think insurance companies are going to try to deny claims
Oh yeah,
based on
sure,
incompetence?
sure. Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. You're gonna have to fight.
if the homeowner, I guess, like, if it's proved up that California cut, you hear all this stuff, they cut their budget, they didn't rake their forces and all
Yeah.
stuff, which is wild, is because Trump was on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about all this.
Yeah.
He's like, they got a real problem. I've got the water. I know where they need to get the water, but they're trying to save a tiny little fish, so they're dumping all the water into the Pacific Ocean. They're not raking their force. Like,
Yeah.
he went through all this.
I know.
Like,
People thought he was crazy.
yeah.
Even him talking about like the windmill thing. Remember that?
Yes.
And then like they go pull it up. It's like, oh yeah, it's actually all true.
Mhm. So, I mean, like, if I'm the insurer, can I go, well, this policy's null and void because that was an act of terrorism?
Sure. Right.
We don't cover acts of terrorism.
Terrorism.
And could arson be considered terrorism?
Could be. Imagine if like Al Qaeda comes out and it's like, hey, we've been sending people across your border, and that dude who set a fire, he's actually one of ours, or he claims to be one of ours. That's that I ain't even thought about that.
Like, do we know who the guy is yet? Who's in custody?
I only saw one guy, but that thing spread like 1,000+ acres within hours. So, you hitting the GPT? So yeah, that it's Well, and then did you see this? Gavin Newsom was filmed saying, "I've been talking to the governor in Hawaii to put in legislation and law on how to protect against land speculators in these areas and put the land to better use." What are you talking about, dude? Like,
He's going to find some way to.
is this just like?
Let's see. There's 3 people: Ruben Montez, Jose Escobar, and Gloria Mandich, 60-year-old. 34 individuals have been detained on charges including arson and looting and misuse of drones during this wildlife crisis.
Oh, that's another one. So Canada gave us a tanker,
Mm-hmm.
and some idiot was driving a drone up, and it hit the airplane trying to dump water. So the airplane had to land, and they're like, "Yeah, we had to fix the airplane." It's just like,
Well, so now, once you get to the point of rebuilding, that's been a big topic. Is like once you go to rebuild, California is so punitive on getting a permit that
Yeah.
you'll never get it done.
yeah,
So no one ever move back.
Yeah.
State will turn red. But then I guess Gavin Newsom signed some executive order to like loosen regulations on rebuilding.
good.
But someone mentioned today, they're like, well, we're going to have an environmental issue because they've dumped all the contamination from all the fire retardant they've dumped on the place.
Like,
Dude, Southern California is fucked.
well, so is that an actual legitimate concern? Like all the fire retardants that they put out?
I think so.
Oh no. And they already have it appears that there is a groundwater challenge there. Like they need rain, but it's not what they do have is not handled well. But
Just for the record, people, we have zero facts with any of this.
yes,
So
a lot of Twitter,
a lot of Twitter, a lot of Twitter.
but in ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
somebody also put out like how this affects Texas real estate, and I guess in DFW, the on-market listings that kind of fit the demographic or purchasing power for out there to here can only satisfy like 1% of the displaced
Mm-hmm.
population from Pacific Palisades and the other affluent areas. So somebody made a comment like all these homes $3 million and above are about to get totally grabbed.
Yep. I could see it. It's crazy.
Nuts.
Well, that really sucks for all those people, man.
It's really sad.
Lose all those memories. Like,
I thought about that this weekend. I was like, man, like what would I grab? I probably just pictures, M's art, and that's about it. Like,
yeah,
fuck the rest.
yeah,
I don't need to take my guns, clothes, whatever.
yeah.
Let it go.
So that's tough, man. That's and what's really gross is there'll be a lot of people trying to capitalize on this. From
Yeah.
the standpoint of overcharging for, I heard Airbnb prices went through the roof in California.
There was a viral tweet about somebody had a house somewhere, and usually it should rent for like $12,000 a month, and they put it on the market for $31,000 a month. It's like it's just wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeesh.
I hope they can get it under control this week because that is wild. So,
Yeah, live. It looks like, hold on, 21,000 acres, 8% contained.
8% contained.
I'm looking at something on Box 5 in California right now, Los Angeles right now, and it's morning of January 13th. So crazy.
Well, I hope they get that solved because that is going to be one hell of a rebuild.
Yeah.
So, Well, it's time to go do some real estate, Will.
Yeah, it is. It's waiting for us out there.
It's all out there.
Just to stay in this room longer.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
man.
hurts. So, all right, guys. Well, if you got a deal, bring it to us. We'd love to buy it. You can make some money. We're looking. Also, we've got debt to put out. So if you need a bridge loan or something, we'll do that too.
Yep. Oh, Jeremy and I will be in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Not this
South
coming
Florida
South
next
Florida.
week, next Tuesday,
Mhm.
week from tomorrow.
If you just want to talk shop, we
Yeah.
are raising money
Mm-hmm.
for more ventures that we are doing currently.
Yeah.
So hit us up.
So, all right. See you later.